Hello and welcome to the channel. For those of you who are just joining me, today I'm going to do an unboxing of Stalingrad 42, Southern Russia, June to December of 1942. Now, I bought Salerno 43 and enjoyed playing that, and I have a video if you want to check it out up in the corner there on Salerno box opening and also extended play. And then I decided that I wanted to get Normandy 44, and I purchased that one, and I really like Mark Simonitch's games on these 40-something games. So I was looking at Stalingrad 42 on, I think it was Miniature Market, and they had 2 of them left. And then the next day I went on, I was waiting to get it a couple days from then, and the next day I went on to GMT's site and found out that it was out of stock. And I thought, well, no problem. I'll go over to the Miniature Market. And when I went over there, it was gone too. So I thought, oh man, I missed it. And I was really bummed out. And I really wanted to try this game out. And they have an expansion coming out on the P500. So fortunately, I went up to the GMT weekend at the warehouse and found that they actually had a few of these games left there. And I was able to purchase it. And even at a discount. So I was extremely happy to be able to get a hold of this game. So again, Stalingrad 42, Mark Simonitch, and it's GMT Games 2019 publication. And it's their standard 2-inch box, the nice solid one. And on the back here, we have a picture of the map, which is rather large, picture of this map. Stalingrad 42 is a division level game on the Axis 1942 summer offensive towards Stalingrad. And it gives a little bit of information about that battle. It features ease of play, accurate order of battle, 3 detailed game maps, rules for blitzkrieg warfare, offensive planning. And down here we have some of the counters that you see in the game. So the scenarios, we have a campaign game which includes all 3 maps, which is really large. Then we have Case Blue, which is 1 map that's June through July. It's 8 turns. Game contents is the 3 map sheets, of course. 3 counter sheets. So it's probably the most of these games that I've played so far. It's the most counters of these games. And 2 scenario cards and 2 identical player cards. Time scale is 1 turn is 4 to 7 days, 2 to 4 players. And we also have a rule book, a playbook, and 2 die. I think these are 6-sided die in this one. The map scale is 10 miles for 1 hex, unit size, division, brigade, and regiment. And Mark does the historical research on it too. And I think, let's see, where's the map encounters? Yeah, he does the design for the map counters. He does a tremendous amount. The guy's just really a creative genius, I think. But the complexity is 6, which is a medium, and the solitaire suitability is a 5 on medium there. So we'll see how well that plays as solitaire. Anyway, let's open it up and check out the insides. So again, it's the nice thick GMT box here. And so the first thing we have is we have a gray and red die there. So I guess Russians and German is what I would go with. Then we have a playbook and rules of play. We also have an errata counter for Stalingrad 42, so you got to use them. And then we have rules of play here. So let me move this aside so we can look at the rules of play. So the rules of play: introduction, contents, sequence of play, stacking, movement, zone of control, zone of control bond, combat, combat modifiers, combat results, determine defense, retreats, disrupt and recovery, advance after combat, breakthrough, supply and isolation, rally and railheads and railroad repair, so on and so forth. Let's see, special units, replacements. And so we have, it looks like 25 pages of rules for the game itself. Then we have some advanced rules here, and they go up to 27. And then you have some campaign rules here, which is this really broken down nice. Which is nice. You can learn this, play a short game. Learn all of these, play a short game. And then learn your campaign rules, play the long game. So we have 29 pages of rules. Then we go into scenario. And we have 1, 2, 3. Well, it looks like 4 scenarios here, if I'm reading that right. And then we have an index at the end. So the rule book is their colored printing, which is nice, so you can see everything in color. Fairly good size writing, it'd be easy to read. We got some diagrams showing how things move and how things work, which I always like the illustrations, so to really understand how these things work. But the nice thing about it is a lot of this transfers from Salerno 43 and the other games. So a lot of these are the same, which is nice. And of course, you're going to have specific rules for this game itself because Normandy 44 and Salerno 43 are invasion type. This one is not, at least not a sea invasion type. So zone of control bonds, combat modifiers, and just moving on through here, determine defense. So it seems very well laid out, and I've read the other manuals, and I'm sure it's laid out as well as the other ones. Let's go through that. And again, more examples, which I really like. And special units, and replacements, and then get back campaign game only. So that's a nice little headers here so that you know. So here's your advanced rules when you want to do that, and then the campaign game only rules. So we're looking at 25 pages that you have to learn for just the game. And then another couple for the campaign, another 3 for the campaign. Yes. And then we go into scenarios. So we got S1, S2, S3, and S4. So we actually have 4 games here that you use. And let's see. Maps, all the maps are used in this one. Maps use only map A and B in this one. Only maps C and D and half hexes along the north are used in this one. And in this one, only map A is used in this one. So yeah, it starts you out with this easier to play games, and then it goes into the very large game with all the maps. And a nice index on the back. So those are the rules. Then we have the Stalingrad playbook and campaign game example of play. Campaign game hints on play, which is always wonderful. Another campaign setup and hints. Example of play. Uranus. I hope that's what I'm pronouncing. I think that's Uranus. Uranus. Hey, that's a tough word to say politely. Design notes, historical notes, clarification, city battle examples. So let's see. So here's an extended example of play. So I will definitely be playing this because I find these very, very useful. It's almost like somebody who's played the game is sitting there telling you how to play it. So I find these extremely useful. And some more than campaign game hints. So let's see, we go, how many turns? Turn 2, so we go 2 turns on there. The Caucasus campaign, setup and hints on play. Caucasus campaign example of play. So again, that's cool because you do incorporate different rules apparently. Next page we have Operation Uranus. Example of play of that operation. A lot of examples of play, I love that. Designer notes, or design notes. Historical notes. Bibliography. And we have city battle. And on the back, replacement and marker chart. And then, of course, what are disorder, disrupted, full retreat, out of supply, and when first coming on, no combat, replenish. That's Stalingrad Playbook. Great addition to this game. Also have a nice counter tray, which is nice. That sort of takes the place of that little spacer they always put in the bottom there. I like that idea. I wish they'd do that on all the games. 2 player aid cards. Exactly the same. terrain effects on one side, combat result table on the other, combat modifiers, disengagement table, advance after combat, determined defense, isolation attrition table, and of course the definition of all these symbols here. Campaign game, the campaign game order of battle at the beginning here, and then as we go into turn 7, turn 6, turn 4, 2, and so on all the way to turn 36, reinforcements. On the back we have the Uranus scenario and the Caucasus campaign. So we have all the order of battles for all the games. It's pretty good value for the number of games you get in it. Then we have the Russian campaign, Soviets at the start, and they get quite a number of units here. Have to extend it out. Broken down campaign, campaign game only. And then here's turn 1, 2, so on, all the way to 33 replacements. The back sides, Uranus scenario and the Caucasus scenario. And we have a turn track. So this goes from turn 6 on up to 24 on this side. Let's see. And this side here, turn record track and reinforcement display. So that's nice that they have that. So that's November 28th, November 27th. So then here are the last of the days there. First of 3 counter sheets. Germans, not sure whose that is. I'm thinking it's Allies or Russian. That might be still part of Germany, yeah. Yes, definitely part of Germany there. The first of 3 counter sheets, Germany here. And then the back side, a lot of 2-step counters in this game. Sheet number 1 of 3. Sheet number 2 of 3, of course, a lot of Russian counters. And a lot of these Russian counters have 2-step units. Few more Russian counters. And then we have our game counters for the 3 of 3. The first of 3 map sheets here. And I'll just move it around to show you it rather than zooming all the way out and seeing a small bunch of hexes. We have our time turn track here. We have our sequence of play here. Axis markers down here. Oh, much larger than I thought it was. Here, let me scoot this on up here so you can see this part. Here's the top part. So this is a good size map. Looks like your typical 22 by 36 or 34. Second map sheet. Soviet reinforcement entry area here. Working down, we got a nice long river. Stalingrad's right here in the middle. On this we have eliminated Soviet units, disruption markers, 5th Army, 5th Tank Army, 1st Guard Army, 5th Shock Army, Reserve Army, Reserve Army, Reserve Army. They have different, no, they're all the same. And then we do have a markers for your terrain here. And again, these are all one-sided maps. And here's our third map that's a little bit smaller. One here. German remnant display here. So it looks like we do have some invasion going on here along the coast. Victory point track here. Elimination access unit here. Weather table. That's map C1. Not sure if I saw what the other ones were. And the last of our maps, here's another smaller map. And this map C2. So it probably connects to the other one up here, I would think. And then I guess they would all connect along this side. So here's our other map. And the artwork is just fantastic. And we got victory points here, as in all the 40 games. So again, that was my unboxing of Stalingrad 42, which again, I'm very happy to own. I thought that I missed my opportunity on this, that I wasn't going to be able to get it. I'm hoping I'll be able to have enough room to fit 2 of those counter trays in. If not, I'll have a little bit of height here to deal with on this game. That was my unboxing of Stalingrad 42, which I would not have if it wasn't for the fact that I didn't spend the weekend at the GMT Weekend at the Warehouse, which is just a great event. If you ever get a chance to go, I'd recommend taking the time to go there. It's 3 days of just gaming fun, 1 day of shopping, and they have a great meal on Saturday night that they provide, and it's worth the trip and the time. Anyway, if you like this video, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe. That helps out the channel quite a bit. And I hope to have you around for my next unboxing or gameplay.